What up, what up, what up? It's you, Lion the Voice. Hey, yo, man, Lo. So there's this saying by Defoe. I think it was Defoe who said it. I can't remember who specifically said it, right? But it's like, do you play hero long enough to see yourself become the villain? And I got an equal saying, right? How long do you stay the victim before you realize it was you punching yourself the whole time, right? And so I've seen lately this conversation come back about the destruction of hip hop, right? And how it's not subtle, it's falling off and everything like that. I'm just like,
Let's begin.
where are we getting this from? It's not that it's falling off, right? It's that mainstream has kept a formula that people are starting to see through the facade of, right? And they're running out of excuses for why it existed in the first place. Because it always existed, right? We try to make it seem like it's worse than that. It always existed. And that was the vulgarness, the over destructive display of hip hop, glorifying things that it's not really cool, right? The only difference is in the past, there was a lot of people to offset that with the same outlook, but there was a point to the outlook, to point to why progress is needed, why you gotta survive, why these things happen, right? The difference between that and today is that there's no longer any more tie-ins, right? It's just somebody turning around saying, I woke up and shot the dude just cause, right? I had to hold my own and everything like that. And just more context that just proves to just murdering somebody in cold blood rather than, okay, well, what's the solution to this problem, right? And that's the thing, right? Mainstream feeding us all this constant, stereotypical, crazy, destructive music in hip-hop, right? Claiming that it's vulnerable, they're telling their real stuff, they're showing their truth, and all they're doing is showing the stereotype of the bondage and chains that we've been accepting for the longest time. The ghetto is not our identity. It's not hip-hop's identity, right? That's the atmosphere that it was in, and we created hip-hop to point out that atmosphere and traject us further. And when we traject it further, we doubled down on the trauma and we just kept it. Why? Right? And so the thought process is, it ain't got nothing to do anymore with the fact that we're still living in that, right? They got to do with the fact that we're too lazy to turn around and change it ultimately because it's making money, or because it's not popular to change it, or because there's no other thing to talk about. This is the thing we got to point out. There's so many other things that black people are doing. There's so many demographics of black people that don't get represented in hip hop, that it's no wonder that we only think that the only thing we're capable of doing as a black person is struggling, fighting to survive, dealing with racism, or picking up a blicky. And that is insane to me and unacceptable.